Mark Hale for the New York Post here from Post headquarters in Midtown Manhattan as we get set to talk about the Yankees playing against the Tigers this weekend in Detroit. Ken Davidoff, our baseball columnist, is going to be there, and we welcome in Ken right now. And Ken, let's talk about the fact that the Yankees this year, they've played 30 games against teams that are 500 or better. They're only 14-16. They played Detroit this weekend, who's not at 500, but still a pretty good team. After this weekend against Detroit, they got 38 straight games against teams that are above or better than 500. We've heard about the Mets stretch being telling for this team. Do you think this stretch is telling for the Yankees as well?
Oh, no question, Mark. And to be fair, I think this is a critical part of the season for all 30 teams in baseball. This is we're past the quarter pole and approaching the period when teams start to make trades, either to add or subtract. So, yes, this is undoubtedly a very important time for the Yankees.
Ken, let's talk about two of the young arms in this Yankee rotation, both of whom are struggling, and that's Phil Hughes and Hughes Nova. I was looking at some numbers. Hughes in his last 33 starts, including the postseason going back to 2010, he's got a 5.80 ERA. Hughes Nova in his last 7 starts has a 6.39 ERA. Ken, we've got about 110 games left for the Yankees. If Nova and Hughes are going to start, say, 42 of those games, can the Yankees win?
They can. I think they can. I think the offense has to play up to its potential to make that happen. I do think Phil Hughes got knocked around against the Angels, but prior to that, he was showing a better stuff. Had a nice run of 5 or so straight starts, keeping the Yankees in games. And Nova, I know he got banged around last night by a hot Angels team, but he's a bit of a conundrum to me. He's a guy who, against Cincinnati a couple starts ago, had 12 strikeouts but gave up 5 runs. So there's something there of interest. So will they win with those two making that many starts? I would bet not. I would bet there'll be a trade of some sort. But can they? Yes.
Ken, what about Derek Jeter right now? He's always been known for his consistency, but this year he hasn't really had that consistency. We saw him get off to the terrific start. He was hitting around 400, and now in his last 21 games going into the Tigers series, he has only 1 extra base hit. He's hitting about 250 with a 300 on-base percentage during that stretch. What are you seeing from Jeter right now?
I'm seeing that he's about to turn 38, Mark. And you're right. Consistency was his trademark for a very, very long time. And we know last year was sort of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde season for him. Horrible first half, fantastic second half. And now what we've seen is fantastic first month, pretty bad second month. So, yeah, he's just not going to be that metronome like he once was. 2 hits, 2 hits, 2 hits, et cetera, et cetera. He's more streaky, and if you're the Yankees, you just hope he gets on another good streak.
One guy who is on a good streak right now, Ken, is Rafael Soriano, who's inherited the 9th inning for Mariano Rivera. Since he got his first save, he's pitched in 7 games. For the Yankees, he has 6 saves. He's only allowed 1 run during that time. Ken, do you think that the 9th inning, which has been so reliable for the Yankees over the years with Mariano Rivera, are they at a point now with Soriano where you can feel that that 9th inning is reliably secure?
Well, as the actor playing Jesus in the episode Curb Your Enthusiasm said yes, when Larry offered him both Chinese and deli. The answer is yes. And I think it's interesting because, it's sort of the statistical versus spiritual of Mariano Rivera. He gave them that feeling of security all those years, this very special feeling of security. But in a short time span, someone can replace him and do the job. And Rafael Soriano has done that. We're talking about the guy who was the best closer in baseball, including Mariano Rivera, in 2010, and that's why the Yankees went out and signed him. I mocked the signing at the time, as did many, as excess, but it's obviously not excess right now. And if you watched that game last night, it was tight, it was a close call, but he seemed in control, he seemed poised, and he ultimately did the job.
All right, well, we're going to see what happens with Soriano and Jeter and the rest of the Yankees this weekend in Detroit against the Tigers, 3-game series. Then the Yankees will start their 38-game stretch against teams that are above or beyond 500. Ken will be in Detroit this weekend. You can follow him on Twitter at Ken Davidoff and read everything that he and everyone else who's going to be in Detroit writes on nypost.com. You can follow me on Twitter at HaleMark. And thank Ken. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.